Hi everyone! I ran to Nordstrom yesterday and picked up a few items from the Mac Me Over collection, which has also inspired the makeup that I'm wearing today. I picked up all 4 of the fluid liners, a lipstick, and an eye brush. There were some eyeshadows that I really liked too, but I didn't pick them up because I thought they were too similar to items that I already have in my collection. So let's get started. The first is Avenue. And I've already started using it because that's actually what I'm wearing today. But it is an amazing black and brown color with a little bit of gold glitter. But it doesn't really wear that way on the lids. Like, you can't see too much. It's this color right here. You can't see too much of the glitter. I mean, maybe when I move my hand a little bit and the light shines off of it. But I'm wearing it right now, and even in the daylight, it actually looks really natural. So it's not as intense as, say, Blitz and Glitz, but it's definitely a gorgeous color, and I feel like this is something that you can wear every single day. It's, you know, it's neutral enough for the daytime, but it also adds that like extra oomph effect for the night. So I think it's a perfect day to night piece. The next eyeliner that I got is Dark Diversion, which is a beautiful burgundy plum color. It pulls more purple than red, which is what I was concerned about when I was looking at Temptalia, because any swatches that I saw just looked really red, and I thought, well, I don't want anything that's going to be really red on the eyes and make me look like I haven't slept, but it's really not the case with that. It actually, especially for me, I have blue eyes, and I feel like it just really brings out the blue, and I really like that. It's, again, it's another one that would be neutral enough to wear during the day and also to wear at night. So I think it would be office appropriate, school appropriate, and obviously, you know, nighttime appropriate. So that would be another great addition to a collection. The third eyeliner that I picked up is Dark Envy, which is a beautiful emerald green with a bit of teal to it. I think it's lovely. I really like this color. It's this color right here. Now, it's a beautiful shade, but I don't really think it's that original. So I don't think you need to go out and spend your money for it, because I think that there might be a slight difference between this and some other emerald green that you have in your collection, but probably not enough where if you're wearing it on the eye that you'd really be able to tell. The last fluid line that I picked up is Midnight Blues, which is a really pretty deep blue with a teal base. From what I understand, Midnight Blues is supposed to be very similar to Siahi, but with more of a blackened base. However, I've never used Siahi. I've never even seen it in person, so I can't speak from personal experience. That's just what I've read. But Midnight Blue is a beautiful color. It's this shade right here. And I think it's a really nice shade. It would bring a beautiful pop to the lid. However, I think that Dark Envy and Midnight Blues are actually somewhat similar. Now hear me out. Dark Envy is an emerald green, but it has a teal base. Midnight Blues is a blue, but it also has a teal base to it. When you look at the two together, this is Midnight Blues and this is Dark Envy. Now, as you can see, in these swatches, they're quite different. More likely you're going to be wearing them like this. And this is Midnight Blues and that is Dark Envy. And if you're going to be wearing them in a thin line, which is realistically what you would be doing on your eye, unless you were using them as a base or something, I don't think that they're different enough to warrant the purchase of both, unless you love both shades. I mean, when I'm looking at them in the daylight, I can see a difference. I know they're different colors, but I think that they're similar enough that it's not necessary to spend $30. I'd rather, you know, spend $15 and just pick my favorite out of the two. Now, if you're a connoisseur of fluid lines or eyeliners of any sort, or just love limited edition items, then by all means go for it. But if you are on the fence about which ones to purchase, you know, maybe that'll just give you a little bit of help. Now, all of the fluid lines have a bit of shimmer to them with the exception of Avenue, which has full-on glitter. And they go on really precisely and they last, which I like. Now, out of all of these have been on for about 20 minutes. If I were to rub them off, they're not really budging. Now the only one that's really even coming off a little bit is the Avenue, and it's not the color that's coming off, it's more the glitter particles. So these are definitely long wearing. Now the next item that I picked up is the 000 lipstick. It's a luster and it is a bronzed plum. So these don't last as well, and these are, for me at least, and these are more of a sheer wash. This is 000 right here. It's really pretty. But unfortunately for me, I think it's a little bit too plum, a little bit too dark. I am pretty fair, I'm cool skin toned, I'm NW20 for reference. The last thing that I picked up in this collection is the MAC 226, which is a tapered blending brush, and I really like this. I've used it already, and it's great for blending colors out in the crease or applying because it's got a tapered point to it, and I think it's actually really good for defining a crease and applying in the crease, not just blending. So if you have smaller eyes and smaller creases like I do, this is probably a good product for you, but if you've got a bigger one, you don't need the precision, so this might not be the best for you. But for comparison, this is the 226 and this is the 224. They're both blending brushes. Now as you can see, the 226 is much smaller and comes to a more defined point at the end, whereas the 224 is much fluffier and larger. Also, if you look down into them, you can see that the dome head is a lot bigger on the 224 than the 226. And comparing to the 222, obvious difference is one is black and one is white, but the 222 is a little bit longer than the 226, and now although the ends are somewhat tapered, it's more blunt compared to the 226, which is a lot more tapered and somewhat, not pointy, but more so than the 222. And it's a little bit smaller than the 222 in density, like this. I personally love the 226, which is this one right here. But if you're on a budget, I don't think you necessarily need it. For me, it's not a necessity, but it's a really great brush to have. And I'm actually considering going and picking up a second because I do like it that much. But like I said, if you already have the 224 or the 219 or even the 222, you can achieve the same looks just using a few more brushes. Now lastly, for anyone who's interested, I did say that my makeup is inspired by the Mac Me Over collection. Now if I were using products from the Mac Me Over collection, I would have Moleskin on my lid and Mythical in the crease and a little bit of Carbonized in the outer V. And I can't remember what the highlighter is, but I would have used the highlighter on my brow bone and in the inner tear duct. And then I have the Avenue Fluidline on my top and lower lash lines, and then black mascara. And I used a blush that is similar to the Stunner, and then I have on the 000 lipstick. Now for those eyeshadows that I didn't get, the dupes that I used were, for Moleskin, I used Naked out of the Naked palette, and I used Deville, which is basically a dupe for coppering, for Mythical in the crease. And then I used Blanc Type as my highlight, and then I just used a corally pink blush. So for any of you who are curious, I just thought that might be a little bit helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be including extra swatches at the end of the video, but if there's anything that I forgot to mention, let me know and I'd be happy to answer. Thanks a lot, have a great day. Bye!